Okay, folks, this is a remake of a video that I just did, and I really feel like I do need to remake it because I used a phrase that is common among my people. And what I mean by that is very rural people and even the common vernacular right in around my particular area. And I want to start over and then I'll explain what I said and how it can be misinterpreted. So, I wanted to show y'all a new drying method, and that is this mesh laundry bag. Now, I picked it up at Dollar Tree, but they also sell them at Dollar General. I got this at Dollar Tree for $1. Now, it folds flat. It contains my leaves so that there's less mess. Now, I do have one in one of my vehicles, but I'm going to pick up more to make sure I always have them because they're handy if I'm out foraging. Now, what I had said was in case I stop on the side of the road. Now, for me, the drive that I have every day, I drive 45 miles almost. And I drive along a highway, well, two highways actually, that are long stretches with farm fields on either side. And this is the area that I have lived my entire life. And I know, like I can even tell you the Job farm, the McGee farm, the Miller farm, the Mitchell farm, the old Scott place, the old Bradford place, where the school used to be. This is an area, and I am lucky in that I have lived here my whole life, so I'm familiar with not only recent events, but whatever has happened on these properties for 50 years. So, as I'm driving from Fayetteville to Petersburg, there's a long stretch of highway, and I'm familiar with the farms on each side, and I'm talking about this is all farmland. There's no town. I leave my town of Fayetteville and drive down a highway that only has farms to the side. There's no subdivisions or anything. There's a house every now and then, and there is a farm that goes with that. Now, I turn down a little street in Petersburg, my hometown, to get to the other highway that takes me then to Shelbyville. Now, down that highway, that's walking horse country. And so I drive down this rural, long stretch of highway that there's a hunting lodge on one side where it's actually like a bed and breakfast type place now. It used to be the old Rhodes farm, and that's my granddaddy's people, some of them. And so it was sold off when Mr. Rhodes passed, and now they've made this great big hunting lodge. And so people go there, and there's a big fishing lake, and there's hills that go back. Now, these acreages that attach to these farms, like there's quite a few for sale. 544 acres, 275, 85 here, 74 here. As I go down this highway then from Petersburg to Shelbyville, and I pass several of the walking horse farms. So I get there, and then I turn onto another highway that takes me right into Shelbyville. Well, there's 4 walking horse farms there, but there's no subdivisions, there's no stores, there's no industry, there's no businesses, there's just people's houses and farms. So I wanted to make sure, I mean, I know y'all don't know, and my phrasing of it made it sound like I just stop on the side of the road and see a plant and dig it up. Don't ever do that. I'm just going to tell y'all now, don't ever do that. And in particular, something that I've seen, and me and one of my coworkers was talking about it. You know, the county goes out, and twice a year, they mow. Now, in my area, and I drive through 3 counties, that's all they do is mow. They don't do any spraying or anything. But private property owners sometimes will spray. And I go down this one stretch right now where the guy on one side, he has sprayed everything at the highway, just at the highway. Nothing on his property, but on the highway. Across the highway, nobody has sprayed. But some of that spray would have, with wind, gone over to the other side. So you don't ever want to harvest right on the highway or immediately next to the highway or any high trafficked area, also because you get exhaust from vehicles, and there are things like oil spills, and we actually had, I gotta tell y'all this is real funny, my little hometown Petersburg has these real steep sharp hills in the actual little town center, and the trucks are supposed to go around the town, and there's these 2 side streets, and it shows y'all truckers got turned down this way. Well, I don't know what happened, but a milk truck, a milk tanker, y'all, a milk tanker went up one of these steep, narrow, in-town streets, and he tried to turn, and the milk tanker overturned, and there was milk flooding the streets. It's tragic, kind of, but it was funny as well. It was on Facebook. Anyway, so back to why I'm redoing the video. That's why I want to make sure y'all are safe, and you know that when I say on the side of the road, I don't mean on the immediate side of the road. I mean, I park my car when I see plants out in some farmer's field, and then I just mind my own little business, and I'll walk right on out there, and I'll dig something up, or I'll cut it, and then I just walk right on out, you know. And if anybody were to stop me, like, you know, if they didn't know who I was, and at this point everybody knows that that's what I'm doing, because several people have stopped me and asked, and it's a great learning experience too. I get to share my knowledge, but if they were to ask, I'll just tell them I'm just weeding for folks. I'm just cutting weeds for people because I'm nice like that. But and I'll tell y'all this, especially in Petersburg, which is actually the close is where I get most of my plants. After I went down and visited everybody on the square that day and talked, and you know, we all sat at the little tables and everybody was laughing and carrying on. Apparently the word has spread now in my little hometown that has all of 455 people, I think. And a lot of these folks are new. These are people that don't know me. But they have spread the word. If you see Tanya out there, now she'll be wearing a uniform. It'll look like a police officer out there. She's got bright red hair. Just leave her alone. She'll be fine. And they actually have shared that with me. But I did want to make sure y'all knew that I make sure to only go on to private property owners. I know y'all can't do that. Okay? I know y'all can't do that. I'm not encouraging that. But I can do that because I know these folks. And that's the only place I go is where I know these folks. So I did want to clear that up. Now this video has stretched on a little bit longer. But I'm about to die laughing because I remember, okay, the last time I was in full uniform and I'm walking out through a field and it is off the highway, but I parked down at the little store, and then I walked up the highway, and then I'm out there walking across the field, and there's some fellas standing at this little community park, and they're just watching me. They're just standing there watching me. And so I'm just going around gathering up all my little stuff. I got a little armful of stuff, and then I'm going back to the car, and I'm getting ready to get in the car, and I see them looking at me. I just wave. Hey, how y'all doing? I just get in the car and leave. Now, that's something I really wish I could get on film, because I know that's an I Love Lucy moment if ever there was one. But so I did want to make sure I cleared that all up for y'all, that do not gather right on the highway or next to any roadside. Do not gather where you are unfamiliar. Make sure that you know the place, like you see it multiple times during a day, that you are familiar with it from week to week, that you see what's going on when you gather, if it's not on your land. So I did just want to clear that up, and I hope y'all are having a wonderful night. I'm going to get ready and go to bed, because y'all, if this week at work is like last week at work, I may be unemployed, because I may just get up and run screaming out of my little shack and just get my car and drive off. Now, I really wouldn't do that to my boss, because I love her, but last week was rough. So I'm hoping that this week will be a better week. And God bless you all, and goodbye.